What it mean to be the best? Riding foes, feeling unimpressed. Make me reminisce, throwing balls, bend the corner, set my mind up on a goal. All I know is stay down, bad, I'm the goal. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now there ain't no debate. Yeah. I ain't gotta say much. Know the boy got a touch. Another win for the rush. Another win for the rush. See me once and got a crush. See you twice and that's enough. Get the ring sized up.
What's up? Welcome to Tell the Truth, episode 49. The Chiefs are staying undefeated in Las Vegas, handling business.
Hit that DG.
Versus the Raiders, baby.
Whenever we do it, DG, we win.
DG is up with everything in the National Football League right now, so you're not going to get the DG.
Yeah, y'all don't get celebration, DG. I'm mad, bro.
Dang. I'm gonna hit that DG.
Maybe we'll get to it a little bit later, but I don't like y'all.
We might have to have a segment where we just have a Festivus for DG in which he's able to air his grievances with everything that is annoying him in the National Football League. I think that's what we're going to have to do at some point.
Call it DG's corner.
But yes, DG's corner. But yes, I am DMac Wake 368, of course. DG CJ. We are here again, wrapping up Week 8. Another win in the books for your Kansas City Chiefs. Your defending champions, of course. This was a lot of fun. I think it was a game that was probably a little bit closer than people wanted it to be. Certainly closer than we expected it, or I should say final score predicted it to be. But it's weird. The final score kind of doesn't tell the full story of how close this game truly was, because they did kind of get a garbage time touchdown. But that third quarter, which was kind of penalty filled, definitely made it a lot closer than it needed to be. But we'll obviously get into it. As far as the entire game is concerned, talking about specifically the offensive side of the ball. But I'll tell you guys to start out, vibe check, as we're kind of in the middle of the season, I'd say, for the Chiefs. Maybe you could say probably after the Buccaneers game, maybe it's a full middle of the season that you can go vibe check on. But I think the vibes are high. This team has made a few key acquisitions at key places. Team has played well. I know there's a lot of consternation as far as the offensive side of the ball. But now that you have DeAndre Hopkins, you saw some of those chunk plays kind of come back. Travis Kelce turned the back the clock as well from his play. Offensive line doing its job as far as the run game is concerned. You've been efficient. Chiefs defense suffered some blows in the cornerback room, but still played well from that standpoint. So I'm kind of in a B plus, 8 out of 10 vibe kind of matrix, 7.5, 8 with the Josh Uche trade right now kind of aspect. So let's get a vibe check from you guys as far as mid-rate-ish point for the Chiefs season after their win in Las Vegas.
Let me do how I do the Keith Lee. 8.5.
Okay, I'm gonna check with the team. I'm gonna come back. Right. Give them a rating. We're gonna come back.
We're gonna rate it 1 through 10.
We're just gonna solo layout here with the
no.
Go ahead, DG solo shot game.
I would say probably, I'm probably like at an 8, 9-ish territory. It hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been pretty all the time, but I think that's the makeup of a championship team. When you've been in close games and you've been in numerous amount of playoff games, playing all the way until February, especially the last 2 years. I think you typically figure out ways to win ugly games, and I always say is I take ugly wins over pretty losses any day. It's hard to win in this league, period. So whatever way you can win, just get it done. From like I said, from the offensive standpoint, always it hasn't been pretty, but I feel like they have executed at times and points when they really needed to, go out there and make a play and do what they need to do. Really happy with how physical they have decided to be this year, especially to start off the year, getting Kareem Hunt, the amount of touches he's getting. I know a lot of people are worried about fatigue for him and stuff like that. But at this point, I think it's really been helping them stay ahead of the sticks, not be in such long downs and distances, which has really kept their offense moving. The turnovers are what they are at this point. I know Pat has thrown 9 interceptions, but a lot of those to me are some of those are real fluky luck fucking plays.
Tip D lineman drop pass. Yeah.
Tip line, yeah. Like nothing annoys me more than tip passes. Um, it's annoying. I don't even think it should count as an interception. For real, it should just be a team turnover. But it's highly annoying seeing those, especially when they're going to defensive linemen. But I digress. Offense, all in all, though, has been able to pull it together and be serviceable enough for us to win games. Defense I feel like, has played phenomenally well, a lot
Best
better
in the
than
league.
I kind of tend to think that they're a better defense than what they were last year.
Low key.
Especially with them being able to do what I feel like a lot of people sleep on, but what really helps you win championships at the end of the day is being able to stop the run, especially when you get into playoff games late in the year and it gets cold. I think the teams that end up stopping the run the best are the teams that end up, making runs in the playoffs. So the fact that they were able to do that and be one of the better units in this league just speaks volumes. Clearly, the front office has already told you that they're all in at this point with the moves that they made, getting DeAndre Hopkins and then adding Josh Uche, to this defensive line, which I think is a phenomenal move as far as what they needed, a situational pass rusher, a guy that can come in and win his one-on-one matchups, third and longs and those distances like that. So, overall, I think it's if I had to give it a letter grade, it's probably a B plus-ish. They got like an 87, 88% right now, So that would be where I am as far as mid-season.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I'll say it's not an A, obviously, because the turnovers are holding us back. The defense is a big portion of that B plus. To DG's point, the defense is definitely carrying the weight of this roster right now compared to what we did last year. So I would definitely give it like similar grade, a B plus, B minus, given what our offense has done. We're moving the ball flawlessly. We kind of been saying the same thing. This team is kind of playing the same way they did toward the playoffs or going into the playoffs last year, moving the ball fine, but we just couldn't stop turning the ball over, and the defense had to save us over and over again. And we kind of cleaned it up when the playoffs started, and we cut down on the turnovers, finished in the red zone, and the defense continued to play elite football. And it's kind of carried over to this season. Our defense has been elite since day one. It's the best defense in football. I don't think there's no debate about that. We've been the best run defense. I think we have the lowest yards per game from a team standpoint going into week 8 now. So, the defense has done everything you can ask. The offense is just got to clean this thing up. Injuries are unfortunately a part of the game, and unfortunately we've had them in bunches, which sucks. But overall, you got to figure out a way to win games. But overall, the defense has done more than their fair share to help us win these games and get to this point now, being undefeated. Now it's about just staying healthy, maintaining. We've added a couple new guys to the roster. Kareem Hunt, we were having a conversation offline before we went live, who's been the best acquisition to the roster, and we came to the decision it's probably between Zay or Kareem. I say Kareem Hunt by far. He's been a stabler for this offense. He's helped us stay out of third and long, stay out of second and mediums, and kept us in manageable drives and distances to make the game easier for Pat and easier for Andy to call a good game. And when you can control the run, just like DG said, when you can't stop the run, it's more hard for your DC and for your defense to get off the field because they play more. The time of possession gets harder for the defense, and they're already on the field a lot more, which makes it easier for your offense to tire them out, and you can ice games at the end. So our defense has done everything to get us to this point. The offense will pick it up. I know they will. The injuries suck, but getting D-Hop in the building, getting Kareem acclimated even more. Obviously, Zay's going to get over this rookie hump that he's in right now, but I think eventually the offense will get going like they did in the playoffs. But overall, the offense is just trying to find their stride. They move the ball well. We just got to stop turning the ball over. So, and that's just like execution, accuracy, decision-making. All those things will get better with time. We'll get in rhythm. It's a long season. We're only halfway through now, so got a lot more football to play.
Yeah, plenty of football play. And obviously this is a team that has had a lot of success recently in trying to make sure that it maintains that high level of play. So let's talk about specifically the offensive side of the ball as far as the Chiefs product. A little bit of a tough day on the ground, I'll say, versus, Kareem Hunt. it felt like it was a little bit better than what the numbers ended up coming out to. This was the least success rate, or the lowest success rate, I should say, the Chiefs ended up having as far as rushing the ball. And they've been a very efficient offense on the ground from that standpoint as well. Kareem Hunt did a good job, though, at finding those hitting yards as much as they could. But what that led to was a lot put on Patrick Mahomes' shoulders. It obviously throwing the ball a lot. Did have a multiple passing touchdown game, which was nice to see. Obviously,
Cash,
for
baby.
betting wise. Yes, there you go. They did cash out in that game, even though I did want, I had the wrong Chiefs wide receiver. It is what it is. Can't hit them all. But I did know Travis Kelce was going to get his first one for sure. Should have just stuck to just get it. I got greedy a little bit, but it's fine. That's coming soon. Don't worry. And so, obviously, they were able to get the job done. Pretty efficient in the red zone. I was pretty happy as far as the red zone touches were concerned. Really just came down to that third quarter that was disgusting. Backed up on your goal line, penalties, killed some drives. Obviously, the interception was incredibly tough. Tipped ball off of Patrick Mahomes' hands. They also got backed up. It was inside their 10, in which they had to throw kind of a jump ball to Xavier Worthy. So that's a difficult aspect. But my personal offensive standout is a guy that I've said consistently this season has played an extremely high level, no matter how many times a Chiefs Kingdom wants to run him out of town. Jawan Taylor, excellent game. Did not allow pressure on, I think it was 31 pass blocking snaps versus Max Crosby. Did an excellent job shutting down that right side of the Raiders, pass rush for a consistent basis to allow them to send some extra help Wanya Morris's way, which obviously he did need throughout the entirety of the game. But Jawan Taylor deserves to be highlighted. I think that the way in which they've run the ball this season has allowed him to be more comfortable and settle into the game. And that's allowed him then to be more, into it and physical as far as the passing protection standpoint has concerned. So I've been really encouraged the way in which they've used him and allowed him to be physical early in rundowns. And then also how that's set up as far as his drop back protections have gone. He's done a very good job this entire season, and specifically his work versus what is elite edge rusher Max Crosby certainly showed up on Sunday. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and kick it to you guys. Who do you guys have as your offensive standouts from this game?
Go ahead, CJ.
Offensive standout for me would be, it's been our guy all year. He's been a wagon for us. Number 83 in the program, number 1 in your hearts, Noah Gray. Every time we need a big play, every time we need a first down, even when we threw the ball to Xavier Worthy and it went through his hands, guess who was right behind him to help him out to make a play? Noah Gray. When you need a play, you go to Noah Gray. That's going to be his hashtag for me. He's been the most consistent guy, obviously, from our pass catching standpoint this year. Obviously, we've had a lot of guys coming in and out the lineup due to injuries. We're adding new guys to the group like D-Hop, and we're trying to get everybody integrated and getting Xavier Worthy more reps and getting him even more comfortable with the offense. But Noah Gray's been the steady, consistent guy. I think as far as eligible pass catchers, he has one of the highest catch rates in the NFL as a tight end too, when he's not even getting that many targets a game. So he's easily been the most consistent guy in offense outside of Kareem Hunt, who obviously hasn't been with the team the full season. But yeah, he's easily been the offensive standout for me. Every time we need a play, he's there to make it, whether it be first down, second down, or even more importantly on third down. He's very secure. When he throws the ball to him, it's going to be money. It's going to be a first down or a big catch. So he just does everything you ask a receiver to do, even more so as a tight end. Being a fellow tight end myself, I'm proud of him. Because anytime you're always dependable, a guy that's asked to do multiple roles when you're a tight end, you have to block like a lineman, catch like a receiver, and you have to be able to be in the backfield and play a running back position at times, given the formation. So I'm super proud of Noah. I know things are only going to get better for him. We paid him right before the season started, well-deserved. He's been an unsung hero of this roster for a very long time. So super proud of Noah, but he's definitely my offensive standout of this week for sure.
Yeah, Noah certainly earned it. I made that, like you said, clutch catch.
Say that.
There it is. Yeah, really. How often was Xavier Worthy's fingertips?
Key clutch catch.
There you go. We made a few good receptions. I mean, like you said, he has been key for us the entirety of the season to be able to be a solid target, in which obviously Patrick Mahomes has lost a vast majority, unfortunately, of his targets that he could rely upon. And so he's been key to be able to work the middle of the field, and thank goodness for Noah Gray and his extension. Shout out to Noah Gray. Happy to have him in Chiefs Kingdom, of course. With that being said, we can go ahead and flip onto the other side of the ball, because I don't think there wasn't much else to talk about it from the offense outside of we'll get into after we go ahead on defense. We'll talk about one of the new additions, of course, from that aspect. Chiefs defense. I mean, I'll let you guys start off here, but another really good performance. I thought holding them really to what was, essentially it was like 17 real points. I know what the final score says, but it was 17 real points ultimately. But I was encouraged by what the Chiefs were able to do. They of course struggled a bit, secondary corner issues. Najee goes out with a concussion. They did a good job at kind of limiting Brock Bowers better in the second half than in the first half. But I saw the plan that they had brought to the table, and again, just another day of absolutely shutting down the other team's run game, which obviously it's not necessarily the most potent run offense that you were going up against in this case, but it is one that you had to go out there and prove yourself once again to be able to shut down. That's exactly what they did. They've completely flipped the script as far as their elite run defense is concerned this year compared to years past in Spag's scheme. So, DG, what's your go ahead and hit me with your defensive standout this week?
I think I have. Can I do two?
Yeah, that one.
Ooh, let's go.
All right. I'll start with George Karlaftis. I think the last 2 weeks, he's been this team's best pass rusher up until this point. Just in the last 2 weeks, he's put together, I think, the best performances as far as pass rushing on that defensive line. Had a key, I think he had a sack, and then he had a key pressure that helped Tershawn Wharton get that sack on 4th and goal. George was right there. Great bull rush. You can see the plethora of moves that are coming about for him. You can really tell his offseason training and what he's been able to do in these last 2 years in development is really coming together. And I think there will be a point where he ascends to people really start knowing who he really is and what he's really about. My other guy would be Leo Chanel, man. I don't know where this defense would be without him. He just does so many different things for Spags. He's literally, I think, a walking cheat code for Spags at this point in time, just because of the amount of positions that he can play on this defense. You've seen him at defensive end. You've seen him at Sam linebacker. You've seen him middle linebacker. You've seen him covering running backs out of the backfield. You've seen him covering tight ends out of the back. They've asked Leo to do a lot for this defense this year, and he's stepped up to every challenge and been phenomenal at it. I typically think he probably sets the best edge on this team right now. And literally, I've never seen a linebacker be able to destroy grown men who are about 50, 60 pounds heavier than him in the run game. Colton Miller got absolutely took into the shed on Sunday. 4th and goal. Or at least I believe it was Colton Miller. I might be wrong on that, but whoever the tackle was absolutely got dog walked into the back of the line, and Leo basically shut down a run by himself. So, yeah, man, Leo's been great. George has been great. They stood out overall. I will say one last thing before I'm done. I love this team's effort to tackle in space and to hit, wrap, be fundamental in space. I know a lot of people don't like Justin Reed. One thing I know I can count on him to do is tackle in open space. May not be able to cover. He may not be able to do other things for this defense.
He gonna hit somebody.
Yeah, definitely gonna hit somebody. So I appreciate the attitude that this defense brings as far as that aspect of the game. Like I said, it was a long lot of years of watching Chiefs defenses be highest in the league and miss tackles. So I'm just glad we're out of that part of where we were at, and hopefully they continue to keep it going as the season rolls on.
Absolutely.
CJ, what about you? Defensive standout.
Ooh, that's kind of tough. Defensive standout from last game. George was a good one. Leo was a good one. I'm gonna give the young boys some love. Felix and Uche Azuma. Obviously, he's young. Obviously, trying to grow into his role, and obviously we expect a lot of him being a first round pick. and a lot of us didn't want him drafted at the position he was, but he was there. He had a hell of a game for being a young guy. Set the edge very well. Didn't really get obviously the pressures and the sacks that you want to see from the edge, but from his standpoint and from a growth standpoint, he improved a lot. Obviously, he's always been great at setting the edge, and he made plays like he did in the Super Bowl last year, getting a TFL. One thing he does do, he's always in position. He may obviously the rushing and obviously the record. It's like trying to get to the quarterback and get the rates, and we want that to be at a higher level. But as far as setting the edge and being in position to stop the run and forcing the run to be back towards your help with your D tackles and your linebackers flowing, he did a great job for me. So I love to see the improvement from him. So he definitely a standout for me of a guy that definitely took a big jump and got better. And you can see the growth from him for sure. So that'd be one of my standouts, absolutely.
Fair enough. I will make mine pretty simple, and this may be something that we kind of talk about in a separate video as well. But look, what this team did after the interception was returned to the 3-yard line, and they had 4 plays to determine if the Raiders were going to be able to take the lead in this game, or the Chiefs going to get the ball back and then have an opportunity to flip the script. Just nails. And this is a part of what, in my personal opinion, with the Joshua Uche trade, is the best front seven in all of football. You've gotten such really good plays that stepped up into kind of depth pieces, whether that's the Malik Herrings of the world. Obviously, Felix has Enrique Uzama, who's asked to been playing a little bit more, done a really good job stopping the run off the edge, obviously, with Mike Dana going through the injuries that he's gone through. To your point, DG, George Karlaftis has been a really good pass rusher these last 2 weeks. He's been able to pull things up from that aspect. The interior of this defensive line is nasty. Derek Nottie was moving guys off the ball yesterday, especially playing just those 17 snaps. You'll see it a little bit here. He's about to just stand some people up right there in the middle of the hole right there. We know Big Mike Pennell has been spectacular. He had the strip, which was on the subsequent Raiders drive that ended up allowing them to kind of double down and be able to get that extra cushion as well to get the ball back to the offense. Chris Jones, we know what Chris Jones brings to the table as far as 9-5, absolutely wreaking havoc on a consistent basis. Tershawn Wharton, been a delight, honestly, both in the pass and the run. He's playing, I think, 75+% snaps because he's played the run that high of a level. You're going to see him go ahead and string this out right here, take on the double team, and just stack people up. And that linebacker crew, Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil.
Running back, real quick. Running back. I just want people to know Leo Chanel is a grown man, like a grown, full man.
That left tackle had no chance. That left tackle,
none.
He took on the left tackle and the tight end, man.
Said neither one of y'all getting that reach block. It's over.
Watch that. 54 here on the edge of the line here.
Bro. Watch it back. Come here. Get off.
Look at he stood a grown man up,
bro, with one arm.
Neck, with one arm,
and took out the tight end too.
Bro, look at the
spectacular.
Flowing,
and the last guy that we did not mention, of course, Drew Tranquil. Spectacular job, and he made a few good plays specifically on this one. But and don't get me wrong, I'm not taking it away from the physicality that the secondary also brings to the table, because them boys out there hitting too. Obviously, he highlighted Justin Reed. The safeties, Brian Cook, Jaden Hicks, them boys, Shamar Connor. We know, 2-2, Trent McDuffie going to bring it as well. But the ability to make this goal line stand highlighted how great this front seven has played the entirety of the season, and how well it's going to have to continue to play to help out the secondary as well from a cornerback perspective. Shout out to George Karlaftis and Tershawn Wharton surviving on that sack right there to get him off the field. With Joshua Uche getting back, Charles Omenihu, Mike Dana coming back as well, this is the best front seven in the National Football League. You just pray that these guys get healthy / stay healthy. And I can't wait to see these boys work. Shout out to Nick Bolton there with the dance at the end of that.
I would really like George Karlaftis to not go full Superman into the quarterback. Does that look dangerous? You're right.
Did I miss it? Did he go full Superman?
Yeah, bro. Ready? Look, watch it again. Watch it one more time.
Because he had the little goat. Was it after the play?
No. What? Just can you play it in full? Yeah. Watch him fly.
He just dove backwards, right?
Right. He
He's like, I'm gonna get a hand on them come hell or high water, man. Shout out to George Karlaftis. But yeah, so we can talk a little bit about this. No, I honestly to switch gears very quickly, but to answer your question, getting Pacheco back, thankfully, hopefully soon, will help out Kareem Hunt not have to carry the ball 25 plus times because he can't do it. It at a certain point it's not going to go well. He can't survive that. So hopefully we get Pacheco back. You don't have to do that. But yes, not having to run the ball 20 times as well. Part of that is passing game looking better, being able to get chunk plays, and DeAndre Hopkins does help out.
This is the week to do so. It's a great matchup. So
that it is.
This is a very bad secondary. Very bad secondary on Monday night, fellas. Very bad. So if there's a week to give Kareem a week off, this is the week. For sure.
McColl and Xavier should be going stupid.
Boy, everybody going crazy this week. Pat 3 touchdowns is plus money, DG.
Stupid this week, man.
Stupid.
Plus money, baby.
Gotta be plus money.
Hopkins had I gotta mute that. There we go. Should be good. All right. So now we can switch the gears to specifically DeAndre Hopkins' debut, of course. And so this was part of Stay Scheming that's going to be up there, kind of the picture-in-picture view. But you're going to see what those DeAndre Hopkins catches look like. And there's a lot more to what he brought to the table this past week. Obviously, he got himself open on a consistent basis as well. Was able to beat guys in man and zone. But these two particular plays are the plays that I like to highlight because these show off his ability in the Chiefs staple sale concept to be the guy in the intermediate part of the field after Xavier Worthy or Mecole Hardman or both of them, which you'll see in the second clip, end up stretching the field. You got a running back or a tight end underneath, and he just hits in that 10 to 15 area where he hits the sail and takes it all the way to the sideline versus man or zone, or he sits down versus zone because the corner is widen out. This first one you're going to see, they got three to his side. They're going to play man. DeAndre gets off the line very effectively, stems him at the top of the route, gets outside, and catches the ball on the sideline. It's just that simple. Xavier Worthy's going to create that space down the field, so it's an easy window for Patrick Mahomes to operate to. Travis Kelce is going to be underneath. He doesn't have to run this route. You know, he could just do a little shake inside, and all it is about creating that space for DeAndre Hopkins to get that chunk play. These are the plays that are making it a lot easier on drives to not necessarily have to put Kareem Hunt on, a bunch of 3-yard runs just to get a first down. That gives you a first down automatically. This one you're going to see versus zone, DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, and Mecole Hardman in a bunch, and they're just going to run that sail, create some space underneath with the running back, and DeAndre Hopkins is able to sit down because the corner is outside and be able to get that chunk play. So DG and CJ, DJ, we'll start with you. What did you see from DeAndre Hopkins as far as his Chiefs debut, and how encouraged were you by the plays that he was able to make?
Very, very encouraged because I felt like it provided. You finally got a guy now that I feel like, in your man, when you see man to man, you need that one-on-one guy to beat somebody. You got him now, and that's literally what I saw. I know it's early, so for Pat and them, it's kind of just working on timing, also looking his way. Really think Pat could have went to him a little bit more in this game, but I also understand trying to stay in the flow of the offense as well too, and not necessarily spamming D-Hop early on or whatever. But there were points in times where, like I said, they were lined up press man, and D-Hop was just winning off the line. Still phenomenal route runner, still great hands. He showed that to you on that clutch 3rd and 8 on the first drive. Finds a nice little area to sit in the zone, makes a great catch, climbs up the ladder and makes a great catch. Sometimes you have to make your quarterback look good. He does that. So yeah, I love what I saw from him. I feel like life for the receivers felt a little bit easier, especially when he was in. His presence obviously means something. Teams have to game plan for him. They have to, indicate where he's at all times on the field. Because if they don't, then he'll burn them and cook them. Yeah, man. I think him and Pat's chemistry is gonna grow as the season goes on, as they get more reps, especially in practice, as they hang out more, talk more, learn each other a lot more. And you can clearly tell Pat literally expressed it, especially after the game, and wanted to get him the ball a little bit more. And there were times and points where he even said, I missed him and I should have probably went to him or whatever. So love what I saw, man. I felt like I could just breathe a little bit easier knowing now that you have a guy when you need a clutch 3rd and 5, a clutch 3rd and 6, somebody to do their job and catch the ball. You got that guy now, and I feel like he's gonna make life a lot easier. Trav obviously seemed to like having him there. Trav was open a lot more this week. They couldn't double team and do some of the similar things that they used to do to Travis Kelce. So it was really good to see, man. I felt really encouraged. Um, Surprised. I think he played like 35% of the snaps. Or he played like 23 snaps, which is crazy. But knowing that he's been in this league for 12 years now, he's seen it all, been through it all. Probably seen every coverage you can think of. So I had no issues with him going out there, and not only knowing probably a fourth of the playbook at this point in time. You got about 11 weeks to go, something like that, give or take.
Give or take.
I would I would clearly assume that by the time the playoffs come around, he'll be fully immersed into that playbook and ready to really go, and that chemistry between him and Pat would be on point at that point. Especially if they be able to get the addition of Hollywood Brown back into this offense as well too. So yeah, man, I love what I'm seeing from D Hop. I'm glad he's here. He fits the culture, fits the locker room. You can clearly tell he's happy to be here, and you can tell he's locked in and ready to win.
This is long overdue. Obviously, we all wanted him to be a Chief for the last 2-3 years. So this is definitely a decision we wanted to have him for a very long time. I'm glad he's here. Like DG said, presence alone just changes everything. When he's on the field, you have to respect him. You have to know where he's at, even if he's not the same athletically, like speed-wise. Even though D-Hop was never really a fast guy coming out of Clemson, you still just had to respect him wherever he's at because he can catch the ball anytime it's thrown to him. And that safety felt it when you had that play in the red zone when D-Hop's running a slant on backside, and obviously Trav had a little seam sit route, and the safety's kind of just stuck in no man's land. He doesn't know, should I favor D-Hop's side? Should I lean towards Trav? He took that false step towards D-Hop, and then obviously Pat fired it in for Trav for a touchdown. So his presence on the field, even when he doesn't touch the ball, he's automatically affecting our offense in a positive way for sure. When we threw that ball to him on 3rd down, automatic catch for a 1st down. Anytime the ball is thrown in his vicinity, he has one of the best catch radiuses, if not the best catch radius he's had since he's came into the league. So he's easily one of some of the best hands in NFL history we've ever seen. One of the lowest drop rates we've ever seen. He's up there with the Chris Carters and the Larry Fitzgerald. He's in that conversation of some of the best hands this league has ever seen. So you add a guy like that to Patrick Mahomes in this offense next to a guy like Kelce, who's easily one of the best clutch performers we've ever seen in NFL history. This offense can do no wrong in my eyes when it gets down to clutch situations, especially end of games. When you have those two guys who are built and made for big moments, this offense is going to move the ball flawlessly, especially on 3rd down, which is obviously your money downs as well. So we've ran the ball at a very efficient rate. I'm proud of Kareem and everything he's done. He's only going to get better when we get Pacheco back, as he'll be fresher and more balanced. But this offense will be a very, very scary sight to see, like DG said. Once we get Hollywood back here before the playoffs, D-Hop will be more involved and more knowledgeable of the playbook. Having our two-headed monster at running back with Hunt and Pacheco, he'll be it. And obviously Noah Gray being one of our unsung heroes at tight end too. This could be a very scary group going forward. So I'm excited to see us grow. And the silver lining about all of this is that we've been making all these mistakes and we're still 7-0. So we have nowhere to go but up from here and get better and improve and fix our mistakes and things we can get better at in certain areas. But overall, the offense is going to do nothing but get better when you add this type of talent to your room and you're getting guys back at the end of the season as well. So I'm super excited to see where the offense can go. But D-Hop can, man, it's been a long time coming to have a guy that have hands like that in Kansas City. So the last guy we had here that wore number 10 was a great player, but had a couple drops every here and there. So you bring in a guy like this, it's a completely different mindset when he throws the ball to him. So I can't wait for Monday night. I'm definitely going to be in the building to see his first game in person in Arrowhead. I definitely want to see his expression when he sees the Chiefs Kingdom cheering for him on the good side. I know last time he was here, he was a Texan. It didn't look so well. So I'm super excited for that game. I'm super excited for him. So, yeah, I can't wait to see D-Hop in a red Chiefs jersey, man. It's going to be a sight to see. Boy, oh, boy. He's going to try to hang 51 on him this time. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, with that secondary, you never know. But no,
Chiefs.
I'm excited, man. D-Hop's it's been a long time coming. We'd have had plenty of Twitter fights, arguments in the chair, late night conversations about what we do if our offense ever had D-Hop. Here's the moment. Now we can finally see what it looks like. So I'm super excited for him and for the Chiefs for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you talk about kind of what the offense looks like now and those key money downs is just having somebody else that Mahomes can rely upon. And we saw an element of that, obviously, just on the first drive immediately, but also throughout the game in which sometimes he was getting open and not necessarily targeted. Mahomes knows, he's going to be out on film and be like, okay, this is a guy that I need to be able to look at as well. In the same ways that he knows he's leaning on Travis Kelce a lot. But it's a great thing that, you add him to the ability to really create those intermediate trunks to be trusted, whether it's the red zone or on key money downs on third down. And then also adding on top of it, what you now have with Xavier Worthy creating over that space over the top and being a threat from that standpoint and really doing exactly what we brought him here to do. And I made the tweet kind of talking about the 2022 offense that was, number one in the league as far as scoring is concerned. Xavier Worthy is better than what MPS was then. DeAndre Hopkins is better than what Juju was then. And now you're able to kind of add in, Travis Kelce was taking a little bit of a step back since then, but that more than makes up for it. You get Pacheco back, the offensive line, it does what it needs to do. Even if I do think that Kingsley Suamataia should be starting. And I truly do believe that this offense you're going to see over the back half of the season as DeAndre Hopkins continues to get more, routes, continues to get more snaps. And obviously, you get Isaiah Pacheco back, and that's before you talk about maybe a late Hollywood Brown addition. This offense is going to look like one of the best in the league, even though right now, still top 5 as far as series conversion rates on offense. This is a team that's been able to move the sticks like one of the best in the National Football League, point blank period. It's got to avoid the turnovers, as CJ pointed out as well. So, shout out to the team. And yes, Noah Gray has gotten better. Of course, you still got Juju around, even to a lesser version of him as well. So, all that being said, we do have to flip the side of the ball, talk about a little bit of an issue right now that the Chiefs are having in their cornerback room. Trip McDuffie, of course, is playing at an all-pro level. That is no need to be said. Now, Jalen Watson has been, ruled out, put on IR. It's going to be on ice. It sounds like to the playoffs. Maybe there's a chance he comes back earlier, but it does sound like it's going to be to the playoffs in January type of deal. Hopefully, if he can come back then, that would be key. But they had some attrition. Najee Johnson goes out with a concussion, I think, within the second quarter of the game. Did not necessarily have the best of start, but he was fine. Chris Roland-Wallace, I thought was okay for what, is an undrafted rookie kind of coming in and making the team. Obviously, he gave up the touchdown that was late. Also, it was a touchdown that didn't necessarily matter, but it was a cover 0 where he just had his back turned to the ball. So it's one of those things where the Chiefs are facing some serious issues because Joshua Williams has taken a step backward from where his previous year's play is concerned. Where's you guys' panic meter, for lack of a better term, kind of standing as far as the cornerback room outside of Trip McDuffie is currently positioned?
Low.
Very low.
Yeah. It's I'm not
Marion
concerned.
Flags, man.
Yeah, I'm not concerned just because I know with this coaching staff, this defensive coaching staff, if they haven't proven anything to you over these last couple of years, they've proven that they can take guys from the 7th round and put them out there in a crucial AFC championship game and have them ready to play. So I know a lot of people right now are stressed about the cornerback room and thinking, oh, we probably need to go get somebody at this point in time. I think you need to trust more of the process of what this coaching staff and this front office and what they know at this point in time. Literally going to get a guy like Josh Uche proves to me that they are fine where this cornerback room is right now if they are able to generate more pass rush. Right now, Chiefs are about middle of the pack as far as sacks in the season or whatever. So not bad, but not great. So they obviously understand they have to get to the quarterback a little bit more. I think they've been relying heavily on blitz pressure a lot more this year. And they know if they can get to the quarterback with more 4-man fronts, that the secondary will be able to hold up. So having Uche, Getting Charles Omenihu back, generating some of that pressure off the edge really will help and alleviate these young corners and help them to be able to look good essentially back there. I know a lot of people last year, of course, you essentially had two all-pro cornerbacks and L'Jarius Sneed and Trey McDuffie, and I understand the secondary looked a lot better last year, but the Chiefs were also top 5 in sacks last year as well too. They were able to get to the quarterback.
Been like that the last couple of years, for real.
Yeah. So when a pass rush can complement the secondary, the pass rush is what is the most, to me, is the most important unit on that field. If you can get to the quarterback, you don't have to cover that long.
Bingo.
And it all works out. So that would be that's why my panic meter is low. I think that the Chiefs recognize that. They went out and made and addressed moves to fix that issue. And I think that you have to now rely on Spags, Joe Colin, Dave Merritt, Brendan Daly, those guys on that side of the ball to do their job, put these guys in the right position to go out there and make plays.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, I agree completely. That's kind of where you have to land at this point. You have to lean on what that front seven brings to the table. I don't think that there's going to be a good cornerback out there to be dealt, and I think that's why you saw the acquisition that we'll get into in a little bit here as to why they decided to do so, because there wasn't that quarterback out there to go being out there go ahead. And so I'm it's probably a little bit higher than you guys are. Like it's a real issue for me. Like it is something that does concern me. Because I'm not sure where the solution is going to come from outside of obviously relying heavier on that front seven. And I am concerned about what it's going to look like in a few weeks versus the Bills, because that offense is cooking. But that's a hurdle we'll talk about when we get to it. But I think that this secondary right now is in a place that it has enough that it can cover up the issues from the secondary cornerback position is concerned. And if you are affecting the quarterback on a consistent basis because you're stopping the run early, then I think that you're in a solid place and continue to be a really high level defense that you have been for the entirety of the season. So that's really the big thing for me. Just making sure this front seven is reinforced and playing at a high level. You should be fine, but it is a little bit more of a concern than probably I think it is for you guys. But I also don't think that the trade is coming to go ahead and solve that. And I think you saw that specifically in the addition that was Joshua Uche. For those that do not know, if you probably already heard, of course, Joshua Uche has come over. Yes, Uche has come over from the New England Patriots. The Chiefs ended up shipping out I think it was a conditional sixth round pick in 2026. That possibly no, it's not a conditional. It's a 2026 sixth round pick for Joshua Uche, and this man is a bona fide pass rusher. He has posted consistent higher level win rates. He's consistently got a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. Obviously had a double-digit sack season twice within his career already. He is a speed edge rusher as well, a little bit of that hybrid kind of linebacker, odd front edge that can stand up or put his hand in the dirt. A little bit in that Leo Chanel mode, but guy that plays with less power, more speed to bend their arc, and is a little bit less of a true linebacker and more of a pass rusher in this sense. For me, excellent fit, excellent price tag. I'm over the moon about it. This is a guy that I thought that we could have gone out and signed at the offseason. I would have been happy about it too. Like I said, fits what we need in the pass rush room to be able to get to the levels of the pocket and make it incredibly difficult for quarterbacks to try and escape out the backside and also create quicker pressure. These guys are going to push the pocket and create havoc on the interior of the offensive line because of this interior defensive line is playing at such a high level. So I love it personally. You guys go ahead and give me your initial reactions and any thoughts that you have about the acquisition of Joshua Uche.
I love it. Everything, like you said, just we needed it. We needed obviously more speed, more edge rushing. Mike Dan's been dealing with the pec injury this year, so obviously this is a move to kind of counteract that, to give him more time to get healthy and get going. And anytime we're always, and we've been known, to add D linemen in all of our runs, whether it be Terrell Suggs, we added back in 2019. Obviously, we added Carlos Dunlap a couple years ago as well. And then obviously bringing in Frank at the end of his last tour with season with us as well. So anytime you can add more pass rushers to an already good D-line group, you can never have enough rushers. I don't care how many great DBs you see, how many great receivers the other team has. Like DG just stated, a great D-line can negate anything you have going offensively. If I can disrupt your timing, get your offensive lineman to get false starts, get you behind the sticks, get your quarterback off tilt to get his eyes looking at the rush instead of looking downfield. That's all because of the great work your D-line is doing. And anytime you have more rushers, guys are fresher, guys are faster. They can get to the quarterback at a much higher rate than they already are. And we've had one of the best D-lines in football at stopping the run. Now we're helping our pass rush get to that ability and to get to that level that we want them to be at. Charles Omenihu is coming back soon. Obviously, Mike Dana's going to bounce back from his injury as well. This is going to help our D-line group just be so much better and so much more deeper than they already are. So anytime you get out more rushers, I'm always for it. I love having great DBs as much as anyone else. But like DG said, a great pass rush beats a great DB any day of the week. They're closer to the ball. They can affect the play at a much faster and a much more efficient way. So if you can get to the quarterback and he's looking at the rush, you've already won the play before the plays even started. So I'm all for it. I love this move. And low-key, when he rushes, not trying to be a homer, he looked like Frank. I know I'm not the only one that saw this. When he bends the edge, he's very flexible. He gets underneath tackle's shoulders and definitely tries to get to the quarterback. We saw him play us last year, and he sacked Pat in New England. So obviously we're familiar with this game, and we've seen him play a lot. And like DMac said, double-digit sacks is nothing to snuff at, and he's done it multiple times. So, and there's with some teams in New England that aren't playing with a lead a lot. So he hasn't really had the opportunity to play with too many great football teams that are always going to be in front and trying to stop other teams. So he's a very speed edge rusher. I love what he brings to our group. I know Joe Cullen loves this move. He's going to help him be another great player to add it to this group of what we already do. So, like you see in this play right here, his get off is amazing for me. That's one of the best plays probably of his career that I've seen as far as on film. But everything he does it screams to me Frank Clark. Explosiveness, he's fast, he's violent with his hands, bends that edge like D-Mac said. He gets around tackles flawlessly. And you could be a slippery player. When I mean slippery, means he doesn't let a lineman really get his hands on him. He knows how to dip his shoulder. He doesn't do it directly when he comes off. He kind of fights through rushes and fights through blocks and just makes quarterbacks feel uncomfortable. When you have that kind of rusher, and you add him to guys like Turk Wharton, you add him to Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, his job just got 10 times easier, and he doesn't even need that much help to get to the quarterback in the first place. So I can only imagine what third down packages with Spags and his creative genius mind are going to be diabolical, creating stuff on third down. Our NASCAR package can be scary. But this guy, George, Turk, and Chris, or if you want to spice it up and put Charles Omenihu in there on the inside on certain plays and distances, it's going to get real scary for these O-lines, bro. We have a lot of good rushers, and this guy just made us 10 times better, just like off rip.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like sorry, go ahead, DJ.
Nah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like you guys said, I'm extremely excited. Did you have a chance to give your thoughts? I didn't want to cut you off.
No, man, I love it. I love the trade. I think that he gives you an element of a certain thing that you haven't had, especially in this defense. Being able to bend the corner, win with speed, something that obviously they obviously tried to go draft in BJ Thompson when they brought him here, but unfortunately, how he went down is tragic. But at the same time, I feel like they were trying to address a little bit of that situation. I think it's key that it's really Spags really growing and realizing that the league is growing and how it's trending or whatever, realizing that you have to be faster, because these quarterbacks are getting a lot more athletic. They're able to do a lot more, be a lot more mobile. We've seen, Josh Allen's of the world, the Lamar Jacksons, those guys aren't easy to take down. So sometimes you have to have that guy that can win his one-on-ones and win it with speed and get to the quarterback quickly. Sometimes I feel like it's not even necessarily about him getting sacks, just getting that pressure, being in the backfield, throwing teams timing off, the routes and things of that nature and between quarterback and receiver really help as well too. So I think he's going to be able to provide a lot of that. I can't wait to see him just try to do that little dip and bend underneath the tackle and then, for a sack. I'm so excited for him to be here. I think he wants to be here. I think he's happy to be able to chase a championship with this team. And I know Spags is salivating with the kind of fronts and schemes that he can come up with. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I also think that he was obviously a lot better when he had another comparable pass rusher next to him, and Matthew Judon had 11.5 sacks when Judon was there or whatever, and Judon had one of his better years up there as well too. I think they formed a really good dynamic duo together. But yeah, of course, you need guys next to you to help you succeed as well too. And I think he's a good condiment luxury piece to bring in the middle of the season to kind of help them in an area that they really needed help in.
Boy, them third down NASCAR is gonna get real scary for Spags. Boy, at home with that crowd noise. Whew, I feel sorry for Baker Mayfield.
DG, did you call him a condiment?
What?
Yeah, like a he like a
what?
Dijon mustard.
Oh, what?
Okay.
You know?
Look at D-Mac face.
Okay, I see what you was.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I see.
like
I thought you meant compliment. That's why I was like, wait.
No.
Okay, got
like
you. Condiment. He just a little something on the side. You a little sauce like that.
A little,
Okay, I see where you
little
come
Freddy's
with.
burger sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like,
DG. D-Mac tried to play you. He said, "What?"
No, I was like,
condiment. You know, it's like a honey mustard. You know, like a ranch dressing. You know,
D-Mac eyes got big. He said, "What?"
No, I was. My eyes actually got small.
You know the Freddy's fried sauce. That's what he is.
The Freddy's.
You know, you be like you like the fries. The fries taste good,
but
right?
you need the fry sauce.
You know, but then you get the fry sauce. You be like, damn, this fry sauce is good with these
fries. A little dip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know.
Okay.
Oh boy. Shout out to Joshua. And every one of those, it's and I've been susceptible to this too. It's not Uche, it's Uche. Like Bobby Boucher.
Like
it's Joshua Uche. Not Che.
Uche.
Joshua Uche.
Uche. Yes. And so look, this is a guy that's been able to play extremely well. And I know there's going to be question marks. Has he played well this season? Yes, he's maintained a really high pass run rate.
You judging him off that, man?
And that's the thing about it. Like, again, this is not a guy that's going to come in and defend the run. That's not what we need. We got plenty of early down edge rushers for that. You also got early down Leo Shadell for that. Okay, we don't need that right now. We need a guy that's going to be on third down, obvious passing situations, is going to get off the edge with that speed. Like you said, DG, the same idea that led them to draft BJ Thompson, who's a little bit more of that long speed rusher that can come off the edge. That's what his mold is, but he's actually proven to do that at a high level in the NFL. And like you said, alongside Matthew Dujon, he had his best year. Guess what? He's got a Hall of Fame defensive tackle that he's going to be operating next to in this Chiefs defensive line, alongside the entirety of the front seven that is playing at extremely high level, alongside what Spags' scheme brings to the table, alongside where Joe Cullen's teachings can bring to the table as well. So I'm extremely excited about what Josh brings to the table.
I had a little secret. I heard he wearing that 5.5. You know what he's doing that 5.5.
I am so glad that you said that, because I just wanted to go ahead and just bring those vibes back. This is the vibes we're bringing back, baby. That 5-5 closing games in the playoffs, baby. That's the vibes we're coming back.
This my
These are the vibes that we're bringing back.
It's mine. That trophy that got my owner name on it. It's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful thing, baby. That 5-5 vibe coming back. It's different out there, baby. Joshua Uche, welcome to Chiefs Kingdom. We are very excited to have you here. So all that being said, eventful week, obviously, which is kind of crazy because now the Chiefs do have a Monday Night Football game to get ready for. Before that does happen, though, I think, and I haven't talked to CJ about this, but we'll work it out. We are going to do kind of a Sunday show for you guys, just running down kind of the roster, who's performed very well, who hasn't maybe performed as well as we thought preseason, because it's a good time to kind of take a roster reset as well. So do be on the lookout for that. We'll have that coming up on Sunday. But for that Monday Night Football game versus the Bucs, obviously this is a Buccaneers team that is banged up. They've had struggles in the secondary. They've had significant issues from the aspect of actually dealing with their wide receiver room. Mike Evans, hamstring, probably not going to play here on Monday. Extremely unlikely to play on Monday. Chris Godwin, unfortunately, suffered a season-ending ankle injury that did put him on IR. Of course, also won't play as well. They have had some good play from Bucky Irving recently to complement what Rachaad White brings to that backfield. Baker Mayfield's off to a really good start with those wide receivers. and they were able to do some things versus the Falcons, but it didn't necessarily look as potent as it did last week. So Kirk Cousins had a great game versus that defense as well. This is something to look out for what our offense can do as well. So we'll start on that as far as Patrick Mahomes versus the Bucs defense. What are you guys are going to be looking for as far as that matchup is concerned on Monday Night Football?
I love it.
I think it's a really good matchup for them.
It's a very bad secondary. They've been giving up a lot of yards. Just to have a disclaimer of like yard, these is what the last quarterbacks have done to this defense. It gets kind of nasty. I ain't gonna lie. When they played Kirk Cousins, I think it was 4 weeks ago in Atlanta, he threw for 500 yards. And let me see how many touchdowns he threw. Kirk Cousins, right here.
4, I think it was.
Yep. The first time was 4, and then both times actually. This previous Sunday, Kirk Cousins threw for 4 touchdowns. First time he played on 4 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson 2 weeks ago threw for 5 touchdowns. And as far as yards, we are seeing Kirk Cousins threw for 276 this past Sunday. First time was 500. Lamar threw for 281. Spencer Rattler threw for 243. And other quarterbacks this year have thrown. Bo Nix threw for 216, and Jared Goff 307. So a very bad secondary was going to beat a lot. As to be expected, they let Carlton Davis walk and go to Detroit. They try to replace him with some young guys. I know Dean was expected to step up. Winfield's been in and out the lineup for them on the secondary as well as their all-star safety. They've been getting beat a lot this year. So I expect our offense, D-Hop integrated to the offense like DG said, crowd noise, offense kind of figuring out their identity now. It should be a good day for Pat in this offense for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you, DG?
Yeah, I think that the only area that defense has really been good at is probably stopping the run this year. Outside of that, that secondary is absolutely cheeks.
God awful.
Yeah, they're not good, and it's not more so. Antonio Winfield Jr. is always all pro safety in this league.
Great player, but even he, I think, can't mask the deficiencies that they have at corner at this point in time. Trading Carlton Davis obviously proved very pivotal for them, and I didn't think he was that great of a corner. In my opinion, I mean, I think he was.
They miss him,
but they definitely miss him. They definitely miss him out there. I think that the Chiefs could really, barring that they come out and really just take care of the ball. I think they'll be able to move the ball pretty effectively. Although they've had a turnover in every game this year.
Let's put a stop to that, please.
Yeah, if they can, I feel like if they can go out and play a really clean game, this should probably look closer to what the Saints matchup really was, where you could just tell the Saints were just overmatched and and just out talented on the field at that point in time. Hopefully it will be another really good night for Patrick Mahomes. Really to get kind of going, get that chemistry working with DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like this is a really good matchup for them to try some stuff. Really see where their chemistry is at on that level. So I would like to think the offense would have a very successful night. But then again, if they decide to come out and turn the ball over and play like idiots, then Bucks will walk in here and be able to maybe get one out of here, get a win out of here. So we'll see.
Sorry. Those funny people across my timeline. Look, there was a trade in the CommuniCast Fantasy Football League that was they did
egregious.
Deontay Johnson and Zach Moss for David Montgomery, which is obviously
oh wow. Who's giving up David Montgomery? My goodness.
Ethan traded for David Montgomery, I believe. Right, Ethan. No, Ethan traded for Deontay and Zach Moss. I don't know who's fadeaway threes. I don't know who fadeaway threes is. Interesting. Okay. Derailed the show. Did not mean to do so. Yeah, I agree with you guys wholeheartedly. This is a mismatch. The Bucks defense has not been able to give you guys a whole lot of actual resistance, honestly, as far as that's concerned. You have to be able to go out and take advantage of this kind of defense. Their secondary is struggling. They haven't done a particularly great job versus the run. They're below average in that aspect too. you got to be able to go out there and beat them and take advantage of them. Continue to be efficient on the ground. Use DeAndre Hopkins for chunk plays. Maybe get one explosive play or two explosive plays if you're worthy. That would be nice to see. Continue to be efficient in the red zone. Put up 28 plus points. As they're 27, 28 type of points. 30 would be nice to see, but we'd like to slow play it. And make sure you take care of the football first and foremost. Playing the clean game versus this team means you're going to put up enough points to win the football game. And so that should be your main focus. And I hope they are able to take advantage. And before we get off the topic of the Chiefs offense, somebody did ask earlier in the chat, as far as kind of some of our ranks within the National Football League. Right now, we are 9th in offensive scoring. So perfectly fine as far as scoring points. We are 10th as far as EPA per play. So perfectly fine as far as that's concerned. Can be better, but still fine.
Also, are we second in like third down conversion?
We are 4th as far as conversion in general, and being able to gain new downs as well. And then number 1 in success rate. So look, this is a team that's been efficient. They just got to take care of the football, and they'll continue to get better. Red zone offense, I think, has been better the last 3 weeks. We can all agree as well. I really do believe that this team there it is, Kingdom Cast S. Right night. This team is poised to be a really good back half of the season offense. And with the way the defense has continued to play, that'll continue to move on very well. Speaking of which, Chiefs defense going up against this Bucs offense. Bucs offense has not necessarily been the best of running teams to this point in the season. We know what the Chiefs have been able to do defensive wise against rushing attacks. Bucky Irving has provided them a little bit of different juice there in Tampa Bay, but this isn't necessarily a matchup that I'm concerned about. They should continue to be excellent versus the run, put Baker Mayfield in difficult downs and distances. And look, kind of similar to last week, what you saw from Cade Otton versus the Falcons, what you saw from Brock Bowers going into that Raiders game, that should be your primary focus, is being able to take that away from Baker Mayfield. Because as of right now, the secondary pass catchers with no Mike Evans and no Chris Godwin haven't really been able to take advantage of it. So what are you guys looking for as far as the Chiefs defense versus this Buccaneers offense led by Baker Mayfield?
Go ahead, DG.
Yeah, I think if they're able to stop the run, they can really have their way. Of course, you obviously have planned for this matchup to be way different with having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in the game. But to not have them, I think kind of really hinders what Tampa Bay really can do at this point in time. Now is really relying on Baker Mayfield being really good. I think that he's more capable of doing that when he has his main targets in the game. Obviously, last week we still seen that they put up 26 points against a Falcons team, but they also put up 26 points against a Falcons team that's dead last in sacks and in generating pressure in the league. So I think that this Chiefs team, like I said, has been pretty much, the pass rush has been kind of middle of the pack, but I think this is a matchup where they can really take advantages. If they can get them in some longer third downs and distances, then Spaz can really dial it up with some of that blitz pressure and force Baker Mayfield, who we all know, if there's any other quarterback in this league that loves to turn the ball over, he will definitely throw you a couple to you. So they can get that. I feel like they can really hold this offense to minimum gains. I expect them to fully go out there and be able to stop the run and really make that Buccaneers offense one dimensional and force them into what they probably aren't going to be really that great at until they're able to get half of that receiver back for them. So that's what I expect.
What about you, CJ?
No, same thing. I expect us to go out there and take advantage of that team. Obviously, they've been bad a lot for a very long portion of this year, giving up a lot of yards to a lot of good quarterbacks and some bad quarterbacks. So I expect our QB to go out there and have a good day. I have a very good prop for y'all this week, and it's probably going to be a ladder spot. So this is a great opportunity for us to go out there and take advantage of this defense. They've been giving up a lot of big plays. And DG's trying to be nice about it. They've had a lot of bad quarterbacks they faced this year that have had big plays on this defense routinely over the top. So teams with and without good receiver play. And D-Hop, I expect us to go out there and take full advantage of that as well. Obviously, Bucky Irving has had a good spark. Him and Rashad White have been one of the best running back tandems in the league this year from a pass catching standpoint. I expect those guys to get more targets, more so than rushes, because like DMac said earlier, we're one of the best, if not the best, run defense in the league. So I don't expect them to have good days on the ground. So they're going to have to be in second and long and third and long situations. So Baker Mayfield may be prone to turning the ball over. Obviously, K-Dot is his favorite target. He's going to feed him a lot. Jalen McMillan and Trey Palmer are going to be asked to do much, but didn't really see them step up last week like DMac stated. And I was kind of shocked by that. I thought those guys would take advantage of the moment and be ready to make more plays given the fact that both their top two receivers went down. So, but overall, no, I expect our defense to go out there and do what they do, stop the run, get our ball back to our offense, get us in some short fields, and let's get D-Hop in the end zone, man. Let's get him at ATD and get him his first touchdown in front of Chiefs Kingdom.
Sounds good as well. That'd be nice to see. But look,
hey, Harold, I'm with you, baby. 40 ball. Let's work.
I don't know what the question is, Rice or Hopkins. I don't know what the question is.
That's obviously that's country on the Kingdom Cast account.
Country.
It's
from last night. We're not about to go down there.
Okay, sounds good to me. I am. Look, I think the Chiefs defense continues to play very well. It's going to be interesting. Again, these wide receivers are lesser, but the cornerbacks are lesser. We know what Trip McDuffie's going to bring to the table, but it's going to be a similar game plan probably than what you saw versus the Raiders. It's just going to be better quarterback as well. Stop the run on early downs, which I expect that they'll be able to do, even though the Bucs are a solid rushing team. Again, should be able to get that done and continue your excellent rush defense that you've had all year. And then plan on money downs to make sure K-Dot doesn't beat you. Those two things happen, then it's just going to be about, does that pass rush get home to Baker Mayfield before you end up getting to that secondary mismatches that he tries to hit with those wide receivers. And look, Joshua Uche, on some of them downs, ain't nothing in the playbook you need to know other than, hey, there's an offensive tackle across from you. Go beat him. Go get the quarterback. That's the simplest play in the playbook. I promise you that. So hopefully we can see him on some pass rush downs after they put them into some advantageous down and distances for the Chiefs defense to get off the field. So that's what I'll be looking for as far as the Chiefs defense versus the Bucs offense. We'll go ahead and give our X factors and then go ahead and get into the power rankings thereafter as well. X factors and game predictions, man. I'll lead it off. I think it's probably going to end up being again, another one of those games where it's a little bit closer than it needs to be. So I'll probably go 31-21. And no, I'll go. No, that's too high. Yeah, I'll go 28. I don't even know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna go 30, and I'm gonna go 23. 30-23, garbage time touchdown for the Bucs. 30-23, and X factor. I wanted to pinpoint one of these cornerbacks because I think that's the biggest piece of it. But this is an interior offensive line in which you can have a field day. So I will say my X factor is going to be Tershawn Wharton. Chris Jones, I assume Josh Uche is going to get some pass rushing snaps. George Karlaftis is going to get some pass rushing snaps. We know Chris Jones is going to be double teamed. Tershawn Wharton continues to eat. Then you can see him go ahead and get another sack this week as well. So I'll put him down as my X factor, especially because he's done really good work on early downs too and stopping the run and earned a whole bunch of snaps, starting snaps alongside Chris Jones. So DG, if you want to go ahead and give your X factor and predictions.
X factor. Ooh. What's my X factor? I don't know, man. Damn, it's hard. It's a lot of good guys. I'll say I'll go with my guy. I'll just go with Xavier Worthy. I think this would be a really good matchup for him, especially against a secondary that hasn't played very well. Maybe there can tend to be some busted coverages somewhere where he can, showcase what he really does well and beating you with that speed. So hopefully, that happens and goes out there and shows out. Score prediction. I'll say Chiefs 27, Bucs 17. probably a little bit, like you said, DMac, I think a little bit closer than what we expected to be. But maybe a late garbage touchdown makes it a little closer than what it should be at some point in time, just with the Bucs trying to play catch up. So yeah, 27-17 Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chiefs 31, Bucks. Chiefs 31, Bucks 20. X factor for me be Jamari Connor. The K-Dot matchup is going to be really big for them. He's easily their number one target right now. I think Jamari Connor does a great job of guarding the slot, and obviously K-Dot does a lot of his work detached and attached to the line of scrimmage as well. He's going to get his Justin Reed matchups as well, which I know they're going to try to key in on those. But whenever Jamari Connor does get that matchup, Baker Mayfield is known to try to force one in there and try to maybe fit it in a tight position. So I definitely think we can get a turnover, get a tip pass. Tips and overthrows, you got to get those. I definitely think we can continue that turnover trend we've had and keep getting the ball to our offense and get them with some short fields for sure. So Jamari Connor and Chiefs 31, Bucks 20.
Cool with it there. So yeah, that's how we're looking at it as far as this Monday Night Football game. Do be on the lookout again. We're gonna have a Sunday slate, kind of talk about full roster review, and then also we will have our Tell the Truth trifecta, in which I think we went. Did Kareem Hunt cash on his over receiving yards? I know you got
Yeah, I thought he'd at least get one screen somewhere in there, but damn,
we went 1.5 for 3 since I only got Travis Kelce and not DeAndre Hopkins and Kareem Hunt's receiving.
We're gonna get the sweep, guys. We're gonna get it, man.
We're gonna get it. But CJ did hit, of course, on Patrick Mahomes with 2 passing TDs, and I'll be interested to see where our line is at this week coming up, considering how bad the Tampa Bay secondary is, in fact. So let's go ahead and wrap it up with the power rankings, of course, around the NFL. I will tell you guys, excellent red zone day. That early window on Sunday, that was something great. That was a whole lot of fun to see in the game, man. That was awesome. And also, obviously, a lot of drama as far as the late games were concerned too. Highlighted, of course, by the Commanders and Bears.
Commanders,
so, left hand up.
The Commanders.
Them haters can't stand us.
We want Dallas.
Wait, what Ron will be doing? Make them think, shorty.
Oh man. But yeah. So, power rankings. I gotta say, obviously, Chiefs. We handle business. Stay undefeated. Only NFL team undefeated. 2-game league in the AFC. Shout out to the Chiefs. Lions destroyed the Titans. Somehow only had, I think it was like 51 net passing yards and put up 52 points. Stupid. Doesn't even make sense. Can't comprehend it. But guess what? The Lions are destroying bad teams to that standard, to that point. Shout out to them for doing so.
Jesus.
Ravens. We gave y'all the gold star. And what did y'all do? Y'all went out.
Down your legs, son.
Out-vibed by Jameis Winston. Y'all told us all week long that y'all was the best in the National Football League. Y'all said that y'all was the scariest. There was no evidence otherwise, other than, of course, y'all losing to the Chiefs to start the NFL season. And y'all lost to the Browns.
You got to lose yourself in the music, the moment. You own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot.
One moment.
Do not miss your chance to blow. Because opportunity comes
once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
Look, guys, we're just going to go out there, play for the brother next to you, play for God, play for your family in the stands, play for that decal on the helmet. Well, we ain't got no decal. We the Browns, but we're going to go ahead and go out there, play for y'all. I love Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is white man, awesome.
He said, how you feeling, Jameis? Grateful.
Every side, he needs to be mic'd up every week, bro. Everything.
Every week. Do you know
everything?
Y'all, I told you, and I made this tweet earlier that I can't wait for the day that Jameis Winston is the backup quarterback for the Chiefs. When that happens, I need him mic'd up every single week. I don't care who else you want to mic up alongside for it. When they do the wrap up mic up that they like to put out, I don't care.
Glory to God.
I need a split screen of that and Jameis Winston every single week when that happens, Chiefs. Please, I beg. I love Jameis Winston so much.
I'm going to quote him, famous white man that I heard. He used to be in the stands, he's from Detroit.
He's from down the road. Oh,
he's
man,
from out there,
James.
but we in Ohio. He in Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
Ohio,
Yeah,
he's
y'all
out of
know what I meant.
Yeah, so all of that.
God
Shout
is
out to the
great.
Ravens, man. Decided to lose after talking all that the entire week.
Jameis threw
So
three tutties on your head. My goodness.
yeah, they gave it to him.
Jesus.
Third best team in the league. I'll be honest with you guys. I put out this tweet earlier that it was like the Chiefs, Lions, Bills, and Eagles, in my opinion, are the 4 best teams in the league, but we got to see more consistency from the Eagles. But I kind of also want to reward the Commanders. So for me, it's between the Bills and Commanders. Y'all tell me who y'all want to go with.
I'd probably say the Bills. I love the Commanders. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I love what they're doing. They're a great story right now. But I do think there's a little luck maybe thrown in there a little bit.
Just a
More
tad
so
bit.
than the Bills. The Bills went
Yeah.
to Seattle and absolutely
Whooped up on them.
bumped the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, man, I've been thoroughly impressed with the Bills this year just because of what they lost in the offseason. And they kind of just haven't missed a beat. Seems like they're playing a more cohesive, unit team. Still a little leery of what that defense is at this point in time. But Josh Allen has been phenomenal for them this year, keeping his turnovers down. And really just been being effective. Gotta give them their props. I would put them at 3.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that as well. So I'm putting the Commanders at 4. Shout out to them, man. Their defense actually has been playing better the last few weeks. And they've been looking like competent defense, so I think they deserve it.
Shout out Dan
I'm gonna give
Quinn,
them-
bro. My goodness.
He's had them playing good football, man. Can't take it away from him. So for number 5, obviously, Texans were able to pull it out versus the Colts. Packers got the win versus the Jaguars on the road. Eagles did end up having the destruction of the Cincinnati Bengals. Any of those teams feel out for you guys? Do you guys want to put the Ravens here? What are you guys thinking as far as number 5 is concerned?
I would say the Eagles. I mean,
I
they
go
thoroughly
Eagles. They beat
dumped Cincinnati
them.
on the road. Which the Bengals have not won a home game this year, folks.
No, they have not.
They have not
Sayonara.
won one. Yeah, sayonara.
They gave you life.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I'm happy to see the kitty cat community's downfall at this point in time. It's tough. It's tough.
I thoroughly
tough
hope
going
that
up
you
there
enjoy
right now.
your Super Bowl victory. I thoroughly
Yeah,
hope that you don't enjoy.
What's crazy? Last week, the Ravens were the juggernaut, best team in the league, and nobody could beat them. A couple weeks ago, Jamar Chase told us
We the
team to beat in the AFC.
Y'all the team to beat, all right.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah.
Team to get beat, right?
Yeah, getting beat for sure.
You get beat, all right.
To say the least. So I think we could say that we're going to go ahead and go Eagles at 5. Kind of a coin flip.
Ravens 6. I think we can't be too hard on them.
You want to go and give Ravens 6?
We'll get 6.
I think I'd probably leave Packers 7 over the Texans. Stephon Diggs, unfortunately, is out for the season officially. And then also, it was worth talking about. Deontay Johnson did get traded to the Ravens earlier today as well. So maybe some slim pickings for what the Houston Texans could possibly do. They're going to have to rely on getting Nico Collins back, and then also some guys in-house for right now. So probably going to leave Packers 7 and then Texans 8 for right now because of those injuries that the Texans are going through. Offensive line has not looked good so far to start this year. 9 and 10, kind of up in the air. I mean, Vikings obviously went on the road and lost. I don't know how far you want to drop those guys down. The Arizona Cardinals are leading the NFC West, which I just feel like I need to mention, to be honest with you guys. Obviously, San Francisco beat the Cowboys. Take that for what it is. Falcons' destruction of the Buccaneers is maybe something to pay attention to. Where do you guys want to go here as far as that's concerned?
Like the Falcons.
Like the Falcons.
Falcons are
Leading
still
their division.
Steelers are 6-2.
It's a very good point. I think the Steelers should be 10, Falcons 9. Steelers,
Oh, so I'm
handle
rolling.
business versus the Giants. I think that's a good way to land as far as the power rankings are concerned for Week 8.
Well done. Well done.
And I think the Commanders have earned the gold star because you ended up winning a game that you had no business winning,
On
but
a Hail
still
Mary.
actually did have all the business winning because you really dominated the game, and the Bears coaching staff is dumb. And Tyree Stevenson did something that was also not very smart as well. Because that's kind of
He was over there like, let's go.
Let's
Oh,
go,
shit.
baby. Let's go.
I
Then,
honestly can't believe it.
then you were the idiot to tip the
Hit the ball.
pass.
Instead of boxing out the receiver, stupid. Could have had it all. You could have had it all, son. You had to run.
I said, what an idiot.
What?
Just awful. So before we go ahead and get on out of here, last thing I wanted to say, this at the bottom is something that we will be bringing next week because it's time to lead some teams to rest.
Oh boy,
I'm looking at you, Jets. I'm looking at you, Bengals. It's time to lay y'all to rest.
Sayonara.
They gave you life.
They gave you life.
See you next season. For all that being said, though, tell the truth. I'm DMac, DG, CJ. Of course, Chiefs, Bucks, Monday Night Football. Be able to be on the lookout. Sunday, we'll do a nice roster review, a reset of the middle of the season. Who's underperformed, who's overperformed. Looking forward to talking about it with you guys. And of course, next week we'll be coming off that Monday Night Football game on Tuesday. Looking forward to it. Anything before we go in and get out of here, fellas?
Sir.
No, sir.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. And as always, fuck the Raiders.
You dig? 2 times.